How you
I'm
going, Anaiis?
good. How are you, Jay?
Good, very good. Thank you.
Good.
Thank you so much for jumping online with me today.
You're welcome. We're in such interesting times, I'm quite amazed actually. So, what would you like to talk about today? This time is for you.
I've been obviously going through a lot of transformation lately, and I've been seeing things that basically, I'm asking question in the KS community. No one has got answers. And then your name popped up, and apparently what I'm going through right now, you've been through before. I was like, well, you're most probably the only person I can have a conversation with who can understand basically what I'm going through and the physical changes that I'm experiencing, the things that I'm seeing, you know, like all of this. I'm like, how can we have been through this work for 20 years and only a guy who's been here for 3 years, not even 3 years, I'm experiencing all of this, and why are not other people not feeling all of this? Am I weird? Am I crazy? This is going for my mind, you know what I mean? And then your name came up. I was like, well, let's have a chat. Yeah.
So, I know you were curious about Starfire. Are you feeling that you're prepping for that, or you've already sort of slid into that and you're sliding back and forth, back and forth? It's a really interesting process.
I don't even know the definition of Starfire. That's the crazy part of it. So I'm just describing symptoms, and then people are telling me these things happening, if that makes sense.
It does. So, would you like to share with me what you've been going through, and then we can just ping pong, what your experience is and what that feels like and what you're noticing, because it is truly like nothing, and I've been through a lot. That was like new.
All right. Okay. So basically, I've been working with, like, I was very clear at the very beginning of the journey because I sort of had um, information given to me that, Iyasha brought this, this body of work down, and at the same time, it was already invaded. So I had the background story from day one. So when I jumped in, I was like, okay, put in your discernment and only pick and choose what feels right and do what makes logical sense to your mind, right? And if you look at that screen behind me, let me just unblur these. Uh,
Oh
this
yeah.
is literally my
Okay.
station. That's it. That's
Yeah.
all I work with, nothing
Yeah.
else,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, I don't sort of just do whatever she's saying. So I had to test it out. But I also have been doing meditation for quite a while. I understand toning. I understand how shaman do things, that they use toning a lot. So I've been experimenting with those tones with my breath. This is when one day I'm literally doing the toning with the Bhavika code, and this burst of energy literally shook me, and I fell to the ground, and then the barricade imploded into the wood. And I was like, whoa, this is when everything sort of like it became real, very real in that moment. And I was like, wow. So since that day, I made it a mission. I said, you know what? I need to figure this out. Not many people can give me answers, so I will test it out and
Yeah.
see what
Yeah.
happens. Right.
Yeah.
So 2 years into testing things out, being scared, being like apprehensive about, because sometimes it was so strong that I would literally pass out as I'm doing the meditation. But then I've got to hold the table. I don't even know where I am. But now, obviously, all of this intense feeling has gone, where now it's sort of like a calm energy, and my whole field is literally turning into thousands of spirals of creation. Like
Yeah.
my whole room turns white.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel the energy come through, but it's peaceful, and I can see this wavy
Yeah.
substance, which I'm,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And everything becomes brighter, and I feel like in some moment when the energy feel intense, I feel like I'm literally going into a different place and coming back. But obviously, I'm in still the same place, right? And then also I've done also one mushroom trip in the last month,
Okay.
and this basically literally sent me into the Elohim realm straight up. I was there, and I was literally speaking to God. I was in that cloud, and I was like, oh my God, I'm actually home. I knew what
Yes.
what that
Yes.
place was, and
Yes.
it was speaking to me in this language. I come from Mauritius. It sounds like Creole, but it's not Creole. I knew everything that I was talking to me about. Every question that I was asking was being given to me. I could see basically how creation got created. I could see basically instead of having the Kathara spinning, it showed me a different way of the upstepping of basically on how creation started with like a boo, 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 boo. It literally feels like a boo, 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 boo. And it goes up and then it comes back in and then it comes back out. Like it's showing me where all of the material Keylontic starts, right? So all of this, I'm trying to make sense in my head, and then I can see the ether now.
Yeah.
So basically, I can see that bubble of ether, which
Yeah.
I know is like I don't even know if this is what the geomantic entity is. Maybe it is. Maybe it's the ether. So I can't put words to it because I've got no one to compare those with. You know?
I do. What's really interesting is that I found I had been already having so much go on before I was even found KS. And then what I found through KS was like, oh, well, okay.
Fair enough. Okay.
Right. Good. Interesting. Good to know. I mean, I was just in it. I didn't, I wasn't too worried about it. But I loved having this sort of touch point and the frame of reference and the place from which to compare. I'm big on compare contrast.
Yes.
Huge as part of discernment. Really big on that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really served me well. But in 2020, I'd gotten the inner guidance that it was time to start water fasting. So I water fasted for a week. And I was just doing my usual things that I do, my morning meditation, blah, blah, blah. And then I just felt compelled to lay my body down. And I just went. I just went through, through, through,
Okay.
through, through, through. And then I'm like, oh, I'm at the hub. This is the hub. Okay. I got it. I know where I am. This is the hub. And
Okay.
yeah, which was amazing because this is when I leave this time, it's my fourth time in and out. It's my fourth
Wow.
journey, right? And I'm like, I'm so not coming back here. But anyway, um,
uh,
to feel the freedom and the precision because of the way that you just sort of open into these states and you trust while you're testing, while you're comparing and contrasting, if there's a foundation of trust, you go where you need to go. And in the hub, it's like, okay, I need to know about this. This is going on. I need the answer to this. And all of this is coming at you like it's not in linear, it's
yeah.
not linear anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're feeling, or at least I was feeling the information. I was feeling it as physics, as math, as source, as energy, as This can all, don't worry about it. You're going to understand this. Don't worry about words.
Yeah.
Right? Don't worry about words. Just be in it.
Yeah. So that's when you, so what I'm understanding is you're in a sort of like a dreamlike state. You've gone to this place and this information is coming to you.
It wasn't dream
Oh,
at all. In fact, you'll see my light changing now as we're talking.
okay.
Watch it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I can see it's white everywhere right now. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
This is me and my Christ star.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you can literally just do it like there. Okay, got it.
Yeah, because I'm now in the space where what's happening with sound is that my voice is being able to trigger this, let's call it atmosphere.
I can do this with breath.
Right.
Yes, that's exactly what I can do with breath. So now I've got two things that triggers it. It's either through breath or there's this sound that basically resound. It's like it sounds like
Yeah.
so as soon as I do that sound, I do the breath, boom, it gets I get
Yeah.
there.
It
Yeah,
resonates you there so that your whole structures of all your field are
yeah.
like, okay, what are we doing?
Ah,
What would you like to do? How can we serve you? Because the elementals come in here. They're like, what do you want? Here we go. Now we're going to get some color changes.
could see the blue, yeah. Like yeah, yeah.
How can we help you? What do you want to know, do, be?
Yeah.
Right. And
Hmm.
when I went into the Starfire to the hub, it got so hot. It got
Mm,
so hot just in terms of the energy flows, and because there wasn't any resistance.
yeah, yeah.
And there's no resistance, it gets really hot.
Fair enough. Okay. Yeah, yeah.
And I thought, oh, here we go. My family's gonna come, they're gonna find my body burned on the bed. I mean, that's just what's gonna happen. I'm just going now. It was
Yeah,
so
yeah,
hot.
yeah.
But because I had been drinking so much water, I was able to be in the hub, have the communication that I needed to have about a particular situation, get all of those details worked out, and then bam, back into the body before it, burned.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was my experience of Starfire, and I was completely obvious to me that I was back in the hub, which is a sort of a mini stop before home. But I've been home.
Yeah.
I was completely home in this lifetime already once, which was
Mm,
beautiful, beautiful. Again, it happened very quickly. And seeing just really observing everything with like what I would call the eye of God.
mm-hmm.
And everything like just sort of dissolving into the eye of God, and then being in the presence, and then okay.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Now that was actually an out of body, my body was asleep, but
Okay.
when I'm sleeping, when my body's asleep, I'm awake now.
Mm, I'm getting there. I'm definitely getting there. Yeah, I can literally hear my self-talk. I know I'm sleeping. I know I'm awake. My eyes just closed because my body is telling me it's nighttime, close your eyes. But I'm definitely getting to that space now where I can hear all of my voice while I'm sleeping. Yeah.
And so then I travel while my body's quote resting. I'm meeting with people, I'm having meetings, I'm talking, I'm teaching. And this has been validated. I was a couple of years back. Someone saw me on YouTube, and she said, "Oh God, you have cancer. Oh, you're a real person." Oh my God, I'm like, huh?
Wow.
So be prepared for that.
So you're just doing things without even your conscious awareness of it.
Sometimes because we've got a lot to do.
Yeah.
And some of it we just focus on for a minute because, or a few seconds, because there's benefit to focusing the lens that way,
Mm.
focusing your lens of consciousness.
Yeah.
And sometimes it doesn't matter, right? And so when you're in that space and the body's resting, you can be anywhere on any timeline doing anything.
Mm.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, like the only thing is I don't know where things are
You'll find out.
consciously.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Okay, all right.
Don't
Okay,
worry about
fair
it.
enough. All right.
I always found I really enjoy chaos and I love the precision and the specificity. But if this is all encoded in your DNA,
Mm-hmm.
it's just going to happen
Mm.
and you're going to
Yeah,
understand,
yeah, yeah. Fair enough.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's the thing, but it's challenging because it's so bloody alone. You know, there's no like you're literally the first person that can understand what I'm
Okay.
saying right now. No one can understand. And I think your name got popped up because the way that Paul Ter acted with you was exactly the same way he was acting with me when I'm sharing that. And then someone said, that's how you actually treated Anais last time for exactly the same thing. That's how this came about.
Yeah, and like I care. I don't care.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Really.
Uh-huh.
It's like, here it is. Whatever you do, this is what you do. I'm really clear about what's going on with me. I'm not worried about what you think or what you
Exactly.
do because it's not an intellectual exercise for me
No,
at
no.
all.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
It's a lived reality. It is not an intellectual exercise.
Exactly. And that's where I'm coming from now. I'm seeing these things. I just need vocabulary to explain what I'm seeing. The only thing is I don't have vocabulary. That's the only difference. You know?
I
Yeah.
would suggest if you can be in the presence as you're moving through these various states of
Yeah.
awareness. Feel in here, in your heart and in the azure, in this area here, and combine it with this
Mm-hmm.
and communicate, I would say telepathically, or
To that state. Yeah.
through the way you use your breath, because that's
Mm-hmm.
communication. Um, the request is, may I be in this with understanding and memory.
Mm. Okay. Yeah.
Try that out.
Let me write this down. May I hang on. Let,
May I
let me
be
write.
may I be in this energy, may I be in this experience with understanding and memory, or understanding in memory.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for this. Yeah, because like because I know I'm going like last night, that was most probably the most intense one. So when I say intense, it was the most peaceful one, and it kept me there the longest time last night. I'm like, maybe there's something because I'm going to talk to you in the morning. This is why it's getting even more like something is amplifying currently. Um, and I was in the shower and literally I didn't have to hold my breath anymore. Now I can see the field, I can see the wave without holding the breath,
Right.
right? I'm like, oh my god, I'm in it, and I'm not holding my breath, and I'm in it. So what do I do now? And I was like, what do I do? I was just there, and I just looked. I'm like, okay, maybe something will pop out. I don't know, because I literally feel like in those because I'm a little bit scared because I don't I haven't had anyone to share with. I'm like, what if something pops out in front of me right now? What am I going to do? You know?
Well, that's your mind.
Yeah,
That's your mind tagging along like the caboose that it is on the train of awareness. It is the caboose, it is not the
yeah,
engine.
yeah.
And one of the most wonderful relationships to work on is, okay, mind, you're here for the ride, but
Yeah.
that's all you're here for.
Mm, yeah. Hmm.
You don't really have a role to play here until later in the time matrix, when I want to sort this out logically.
Mm,
Then you can be part of that. But right
yeah.
now, there's no place for you here.
Mm, yeah. Hmm. That's it.
It's right here. That's it.
Yeah. Interesting.
Takes a bit of
Uh,
getting used to, but sound is really powerful for modulating that. Is really
mm,
powerful. People, I try to emphasize with people all the time, it's not about light.
yeah.
Sound first,
Hmm.
then sound, and then the light shows up.
Yeah. Like now I've come to the point, I don't even need to use sound. It's
Right.
intention.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
literally intention, breath.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
Yeah.
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 Because
But I've found
sound
that the
will get you
sound
there.
helps.
Yeah, sound gets you there. Sound helps.
Yeah. Yeah.
It gets the mind out of the way
Mm, yeah.
so that your
Hmm.
intention isn't mental.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? You
Hmm.
feel that, right? Your intention is no longer mental.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
pure energy.
Hmm. Yeah. I suppose I just need to get used to it. That's yeah, because it's so different. Yeah,
It's so
it's such
yeah,
a
yeah,
very
yeah,
different. Yeah,
yeah,
I can
yeah,
see the light
yeah.
changing again now.
It's
Yeah,
so different. It's so different, but you're fine, you know? And
yeah,
it is a little strange to, I mean, I've gone for decades. Like I can't talk about this with anybody.
yeah.
I mean, I
Wow,
could, but
it's amplifying now. Like I can see the light going. Yeah, uh,
what would be
yeah,
the point?
yeah. uh, but in that state right now, are you feeling anything in particular? Are you just while you're speaking with me, you allow the presence of that light to be, and okay, got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
And there's there are ways to be in this and then to modulate it so that I can bring this presence through my hands.
Mm.
And I don't have to talk, or you know, like I don't
Yeah.
have to show all this light,
Hmm.
right?
Fair enough. Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
being, and then I can, yeah, see, now I can this is fun. This is like
Uh,
gas on break. It's fun.
fair enough. So
Then
this is the part I suppose where you can help me out because I don't know how to navigate that part, and you've already navigated that part because now I can feel the energy is coming. I just need to know what to do with it now because I'm like, because sometimes I'm like, what's even my purpose? Because I don't bloody know.
yes,
You know what I mean?
because you got to relax. You
Yeah,
really have
yeah.
to. I mean, I know it's hard, but I'm writing I'm getting ready to deliver a TED talk, which will communicate a lot about this in a
Mm,
way that people can maybe track mentally. But when I first had the idea that I wanted to do, I was already doing some pretty interesting things with hands-on healing. This is way before chaos. And I was just like, okay, let's just be quiet about this because let's just be quiet about this till we feel our way all the way through it. first thing was, being in like a 10-minute exercise with some guy I never met before. And he had a baseball sized neuroma on his wrist. And we were in a workshop at Omega, and we were just doing this, eye gazing thing and just looking at each other and just being really open and really connected. It was really beautiful. And then after that time, we had a break. So I went to go get a cup of tea and to go use the ladies' room. And I came back. He said, "Look, completely gone."
Wow. Wow.
And I thought, okay, let's just put that on the back burner. You don't have to worry about that right now. That's interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
But what I had was my heart wanted to work in that way with people who are critically burned.
Mm.
And so, when you just don't get too mental about it, just be in the like whatever that is for you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just let it be what it is. You'll feel it.
Yeah.
And these comes in bursts, like 30 seconds. Boom, there it is.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I sort of know, but then it's like, how do I put it? It's hard to sometimes, because I'm like, am I doing this out of my ego? But now you're giving me the confidence that I'm doing this out of inspiration from source rather than the ego part of me. So thank you so much, because now all of the question that I have, you're confirming like you're on the right track. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's actually a beautiful question. It's a wonderful question.
Yeah.
But when you're in it, it's so clear.
Yeah.
Caboose, right? That's back of the train.
Yeah.
And just be in it and
Yeah.
trust it. And still have your discernment aligned with your intention.
Yeah.
And the feedback comes, and it comes in the most beautiful, sometimes very indirect, very subtly, like pieces are being moved around you, through you, to get you lined up properly with all of your fields.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So, and then suddenly there's a door open, there's a space open, there's a portal open, there's a opportunity.
Yeah.
It's just be joyful.
I know. It like that's the thing. I think now I can give myself permission to be all of this, but before it was like I sort of knew there was a destination since the day that the Biovica code imploded on me. I knew there was somewhere I needed to be to feel like I've done what I needed to do. And I think the last 2 weeks have got me confirmation. Okay, now we've done what we needed to do. We've got to the destination. So now what do? That's what we've been working towards. And now I'm like, I thought I was going to have some answers, but I still don't. You know what I mean? Yeah.
It's so fluid. It's so fluid, especially once you move through that Biveka and you've really like, then you're in the plasma flows. You're in plasma, and it's just, all that's happening, and you don't have to do anything but stay present and feel like,
Yeah.
what would make your heart happy? I don't know why working with burn patients was what would make my heart happy, but it did.
Fair enough. Yeah.
It did, and it was a beautiful collaboration. It was the Trinity. It was the doctors and the patients and the third energy.
Yeah.
And I showed up as the third energy in a body.
Yeah.
And
Fantastic.
everybody was cool with it because it was doing great stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I was
Fantastic.
amazed. I was amazed when I was just like hanging out, being there. It's like, okay, just like, okay.
Yeah. But like for me, it's very simple. For me, the simplicity is to make all of this knowledge simple. That's
Yeah,
it. Because that's how simple it is.
yeah.
And I literally have gone through one full year of confusion and distraction with all of what people were saying, and I'm like, it, it's way too complicated. It shouldn't be. Yeah. Uh-huh.
They get so mental about it and so intellectual about it. I go, God, you might as well be Jewish talking about how many angels dance on the head of the pin. Who cares, right?
Yeah.
And so,
Uh,
who cares? And so to just relax and just keep doing your meditation and your breathing and be the parent to your mind. Be the parent. Be the parent. Your mind is the child.
yeah.
And you're gonna be the parent that's saying, okay,
Yeah. Calm down. Yeah. Hmm.
let's observe, let's look, let's feel.
Hmm.
We don't need to think anything.
Yeah. Hmm.
Thinking comes later.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a really wonderful relationship, and I feel that's part of the glory, the real beauty of the KS material. If you, even if you didn't do anything else, if you just followed that, there's a good chance your DNA would get you there.
Mm.
It's about your DNA.
Yeah. Hmm.
That's it.
Definitely.
Your DNA is just like, hey, we know what we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah. Hmm.
So what is your DNA? I mean, you're at this point, you're probably, let me see if I can, you're 24. You're 24 strands activated already. I'm
I
just,
don't know.
well, there you go. That's my read. Who cares?
Okay.
But I
Yeah.
mean, sometimes people, because there's a space where, as I describe it, the popcorn just starts popping.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. The only thing that holds me back is this thing in my throat that it's a constant thing. It's literally very constant. Right here, and then sometimes at the back of the neck. These are the 2 points that there's still remnants of whatever is there right now. But every day I can feel it relaxing more and more and more. I sort of like do exercises, but there's definitely something here that is been there for a very, very long time. Yeah,
It will unwind.
yeah.
It will. I mean, I'm going
Mm.
through some stuff in my body stuff in the intestinal tract. And it's so when you think that you have 1,728 incarnations and a minimum,
Yeah. Mm.
what are those bodies doing?
Mm. So that will have a repel effect on you reckon?
Absolutely, it impacts you. You're not
But
separate from any of that information.
mm,
Once the popcorn starts popping,
yeah.
you choose your boundaries.
Mm,
But the goal is for all of us to go home.
mm, yeah.
Bringing all 1,727 of my buddies with me.
All right, okay. Do you consciously know some of them
Oh
or
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
really?
Oh
Oh
yeah.
wow.
Oh yeah.
Like so how did you find out about that?
Well, this is going to sound really weird, but when my awakening happened and it took 30, then take more than 30 seconds. I mean, the experience was, and then I'm sitting in a surround sound theater. None of us have bodies, but I'm in a surround sound theater, and there's all other kinds of beings there with me, and there's a big screen, and somebody had a clicker, like a PowerPoint, and they're like, okay, boom, 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 and
Wow.
I'm like after about 1,000, I'm like, okay, can we jump? What's the point?
Yeah.
Great, wonderful, got it, remember, yeah, oh, that's interesting. But what is the point here?
Mm.
Okay, let's cut to the chase.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And we did. Right? Because to have that volume of memory, that's the point.
Mm.
To have
Yeah.
that breadth and depth of experience that you can draw on through your DNA to remember,
Mm-hmm.
remember, put the
Yeah,
hand
yeah.
back on the arm,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
remember.
Yeah.
Especially right now, every bit of that you is contributing to everybody going
Mm.
home. Everybody going home who can go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So may I ask you, were these forms human, non-human, mixture of everything?
Oh yeah.
It was a mixture of everything.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm. And the crazy part for me is I did not see this obviously normally. I saw this because every time I've had like a mushroom trip, I did one in 2019. I did one basically last month. Was there even between? But the 2019 was sort of like the core of where it all happened. I looked at myself. I look like, I swear to God, and this is still stuck in my head. I'm like, this looks like a robot.
Okay, well that's one of the potential.
Yeah.
That's one
Uh-huh.
of the potentials. There are you just to remember that we're in a generous, abundant universe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And every form
Mm-hmm.
that we play with,
Yeah.
why not?
Yeah. Like it was very distinct. There was a spaceship, then there was this being. There was a net. I was a baby, and someone was holding my hand. And then it felt like the spaceship took me out of the hand of that hand as a baby. So this is what sort of like gave me like maybe somewhere I was stolen from someplace in that spaceship. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
I had this being that was floating in midair, which feels like I was a portal of some sort. And then I had a very distinct androgynous being that was wearing a helmet. It was not a man, it was not a woman, it was definitely androgynous. It felt like this, it felt like a Larian. That's what it felt like. It was like a humanoid, but then it had cat's eyes, right? But then in the last trip that I did on the mushroom one, I could distinctly see that avatar identity, which looks like a tiger.
Okay.
It was definitely, it looked like a tiger in light, in liquid light, but it's
Nice.
not a tiger, but it feels like a tiger. It's, yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm trying to get, and I could see the light literally passing from my body. And that tiger is sort of like the best way I can feel it in my body is like, it's already settled in, now waiting for the light to ignite.
That's your cosmic galactic DNA,
Okay.
right? Like how many forms and what is the consciousness of that form?
Well, right now, all I can see is that liquid light. It's literally like
Beautiful.
I know what liquid light is now
Yeah,
because
right?
before it was a concept. Now I'm like, I know
There
liquid
it
light.
is. There
Figured
it
it
is.
out.
Right. I'm in it. I'm actually, that's what I am right now.
Okay. Really? All right.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
that's you could say, oh, right now I'm this.
Mm,
It's really a beautiful thing when the mind gets out of the way. You just relax into, oh, I'm this now.
mm, yeah.
I,
Mm-hmm.
and not, and then don't get attached to it.
Mm, yeah. Yeah. Just let it go. Yeah.
And I mean, what's really cool is that we have, I love to think of it like our bodies are these amazing passcode cards. We're
Mm-hmm.
passcode cards. We just, you know? And so that's really helpful in terms of, as long as we're in them, the time space thing, right?
Yeah.
So you can sort of have a context,
Yeah. Yeah.
an anchoring point to return to integrate, breathe and expand, share it,
Mm-hmm.
whatever, integrate, rest, breathe, expand. I mean, this is what your DNA is doing.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
And there you are, and you have a frame of reference that you recognize. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
Jay. There's Jay. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's very, very, very different because at the same time it looks like a warrior. So I feel like I've got this warrior spirit in me. You
Sure.
know?
Sure.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Sure. You bet. I mean, this is it. This is like what I love about this whole thing, especially right now, is you come to the realization of how much you are.
Hmm.
And it is so far beyond anything that Earth culture can imagine.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
Really,
Mhm.
I mean, even the best of the sci-fi and the Star Wars, it's like, no, that's just scratching the surface.
I know.
Like,
This is why it's so hard to even have a conversation with anyone, you know? Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I'm telling you, it's a beautiful thing. And then to feel all of these, they're all you, like, warrior, please, man, I can kick some serious ass.
Yeah.
But that's only part of the picture.
Yeah.
And I only kick serious ass when I need to kick serious ass.
Yeah.
I mean, all of the parts, the tender, the yummy, the shy, the bold, the ugly, the beautiful, the slimy, the dry. I mean, we're all
All of it. Yeah.
of that. And
Hmm.
you have a body that allows you to have an anchor point.
Yeah. 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 Hmm.
And back and back and back. And just let it all. I mean, that's the beauty of the DNA and the braiding and the you get to 48 strands, and it's just like,
You're at 48 currently. That's, oh yeah, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mhm. Yeah, fair enough. So this is why the life manifests because you're at 48, for sure.
yeah, but who
Okay.
cares?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
it's only useful
And
if
how did you determine I'm 24? Like
with
what
just a
sort of
quick
suggestion?
scan, just a quick scan, because you're
Oh,
popping.
okay.
Your popcorn is popping. You probably won't stay at 24 for very long with what you're doing. You'll be, I mean, so many of us right now are going to get to 48. We have to.
Mm, yeah, yeah.
We have
Hmm.
to be able to hold the frequency
Yeah.
that's connected to Eartha and the whole Starfire thing. We
Yeah.
right? And you still get to eat Cheerios for breakfast.
Yeah. I know. This is the other part of me. Like I've been pondering lately. I'm like, am I supposed to become vegetarian now? Am I supposed to continue eating? What do I eat? Like all of these questions is popping up because I don't know.
Let your body tell you. I am
Yeah.
now, I have one meal a day.
Same. I eat only once a day.
Okay. One meal
Yeah.
a day. Have a little bit of nibbles, a lot of water. Um, the coffee and tea thing, forget it.
I still do coffee. Yeah.
Well, enjoy it while you can, pal. I
Really?
love coffee. Yeah, yeah. Well, I don't know what will happen for you, but for me, it's off the table.
Oh wow.
And I've been drinking coffee since I was born. That was one of
Oh, okay.
my first words. I said,
Fair enough.
"Oh, is that coffee?"
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
what, like, well, it's like coffee, coffee.
Yeah.
Bring it, bring it. They gave it to me in a baby bottle.
Yeah,
Coffee.
yeah.
So
Are
yeah,
you vegan?
huh?
Are you vegan or do you eat everything?
I'm like what my
That
body
feels right.
my body says today we eat this.
Yeah,
Today we don't eat this.
yeah.
Today we sit outside in the sun and just breathe.
Nice. I'm exactly, and this is why I was asking this question because sometimes I feel like, oh my God, vegan is just a concept. Because sometimes my body is telling me, do not touch that salad right now. Go get some meat.
Go get some
I,
chicken, have a hamburger, right? Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and I would literally do that, and then I would feel guilty, and then I'll do my meditation 3 hours later, and the light just light up like 5 times stronger. I'm like, go figure.
Your body will tell you.
Yeah.
So don't make up any rules.
Got it. Yeah,
And
yeah.
like, I mean, because of what I've been going through recently, it was like, because my voice is changing and I'm going to be speaking and I'm going to be delivering that light through my voice. So I'm in a thing right now. So it's like, don't get attacked. Just listen and do, and then don't worry about it. And yeah, I know you really want a cup of coffee, but not today.
Fair enough. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Maybe not forever, but not
Yeah,
today.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I think the grace that we get, that I feel is the gift of KS, is listen. The rules, as it says I mean, I'm really remembering a lot of some of my Jewish lives right now and being with Jesus and that whole trip. But man is not made for the Sabbath. The Sabbath is made for man. So whatever the rules are, they exist for you. They don't exist to you.
Mm-hmm.
They exist for you. And let your body and your environment say, today, this rule, vegan, omnivore, keto, whatever, today, this rule is on the bookshelf.
Yeah, yeah. Mhm. Yeah.
Today,
That's exactly what I feel. But then I'm like, I just need confirmation. I think you're giving me all of the confirmation that I needed. I'm like, okay, now you can just relax, dude. There's nothing to worry about. Just relax.
yeah, yeah. You'll find that more and more of the rules fall away because you realize that they just don't, in the scheme of the universe, they don't add up to much.
No, not at all. Yeah,
And yet you want to be in integrity and in authenticity and in
yeah,
intentionality, but source aligns every nanosecond.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah. So I had to literally rationalize this in my head because I was like, okay, I'm the only one experiencing this. But then at the same time, we're all made out of the elements. I'm like, well, if we're all the same arrangement of the elements and I have to eat, and because the reason that I say that I have to eat is because I'm feeling hungry. I'm like, maybe one day the hunger will go. When the hunger goes, I'll stop eating. But for now, I still feel hungry. So I'll eat.
There's your cue.
Yeah, yeah. Hmm.
Don't
Yeah,
fight that. Why would you fight that?
yeah, yeah.
Your body's your best friend right now.
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
Hmm.
I mean, I listen, and sometimes I'm like, oh, I can't get to the store for that today. What else can we do?
Mm. Yeah, yeah.
It's definitely changing.
Mm.
Definitely changing. And there are days when I'm resentful because I love to eat.
Mm.
Eating is amazing.
Yeah,
I think food is fabulous.
yeah.
And so it's taken me about a year right now to make this like, okay, one meal a day.
Mm. Yeah,
But my body's like says, thank you. That's what we need.
yeah. Like even like for me, I've been on one meal a day for a year now. Yeah. So I would not, apart from, so I'll have a coffee in the morning. I'll have my meal roughly around 12, 1 o'clock, and then
Right.
I'll have another coffee at the end of the day. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't feel hungry. I don't feel any more hungry anymore.
I will
Yeah.
feel hungry when something is going on with my emotional body,
Mm. Yeah.
when I'm processing something for my emotional body. I'm like, oh, can I have I'm like, no, you don't need that. That's just
Yeah.
emotional body. Why don't you feel the feelings?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
feel the feeling. But there's a lot of leeway. And like when I go out and I'm social, like at a gathering or at a meeting or a training or a conference, and there's all the stuff, and it's like,
Coming.
sure, go enjoy all the stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
And these
Fantastic.
people and all the stuff.
Yeah. So have you met a lot of people who's been like what you've been through already?
No,
Because that's really
no,
wow. Wow. Okay.
no, we're unicorns, dude.
Really? Okay.
For right
Wow.
now, right
For right
now.
now, anyway. Yeah. Yeah.
But you
Wow.
and I are talking, and I'm like, well, that's different.
Really? Uh, yeah.
It gets really lonely,
I know. I know.
right?
Because there's nothing to talk about.
I know.
Like, because every single person I tried to explain this to, like, but now I've come to the point where I'm like, the only place I share this is in chaos group, and even then they think I'm crazy, and I'm like, where do I go? Yeah, where do
Yeah.
I go?
So I'm like, look, it's in the information.
Yeah,
All the workshops all say this is what is like, here it is. And so when it's here it is,
yeah,
you can't accept it.
yeah, yeah.
Like, that's not my problem.
I know, I know. Yeah, wow. So then, if we're that kind of rare, we need to keep talking and then see what I don't know because obviously it's like we're 2 out of 7 billion people right now.
Today,
Today,
I
you know,
feel, yeah, I feel that there are more. It's a feeling I have.
yeah,
Been feeling it like this last month that there
mm-hmm.
are more.
Mm,
I feel them. I feel them. And so I'm like saying to the energy, it's like, okay, well, if it's meaningful for us to connect visually or other than energetically, because I feel them,
mm,
I'm open to that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But please don't bring me any of these angels. How many cast angels can dance on the head of an MCEO pin with Yesha with my? I'm like, please don't.
Yes, I know, I know. I was so amazed on how many of them are around. I'm like, oh my, this guy Paul is a piece of work, I tell you. And I'm like, oh man, he's literally. I'm describing all the things that we're talking about. He's just thinking I'm delusional and painting me as that in the group. So I
Yeah,
have to be very firm, but then eventually, I think people sort of got the gist of what he was trying to do. But then when someone made the correlation between me and you, that's when everyone sort of that, oh, now this guy is the problem right now. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
And now all of a sudden, his energy just changed in the last couple of days, where now he's a little bit more like he was very condescending before, but now he's sort of like, I think maybe something has happened either in the background of the head or someone has spoken to him, but his energy has changed.
But
Yeah.
that's nice. I'm glad to hear it because
Well, I'm not going to talk too fast because you never know. You might go back to yeah.
I mean, people are where they are.
Yeah.
And so I don't his friend was over here. We talked for a couple of hours this morning and he's stuck in this. And I'm like, you could stay there if you want to. You don't have to,
Yeah.
and it's okay if that's where you want to stay right now. It's cool.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
don't ask me to stay there because I won't.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So is that when you're out of the group now? You don't like to hang around the group?
I don't need to.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair enough.
I mean, I have all of the KS MCO and plus. I have all of it. I have.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
If I need, I will go in the garden and talk to source. I will talk to the beloveds. I will ask. I will talk to the elementals first.
Yeah.
First, it usually takes care of it.
Yeah.
And they know that I listen to them because all for one whole year from Hitharo of 2022 through to Heathalon of 2023, every month I put on a 3-day KS shield clinic.
Mm.
Folks, you might want to really look at this and be here and know that this is a really helpful place for you to focus your attention. And
Yeah. Yeah.
the beloveds asked me to do that.
Oh wow. Okay.
So I went through everything and they're like, okay, go here, go here. I'm like, okay, and I'm writing it all down. I'm making the itinerary. Okay, go here, go. I'm like, okay, good. And I recorded everything. I recorded all of those shield clinics.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
People ever want to have them, they're available. And it's me giving like a little bit of a sidebar, but not changing anything.
Mm. Yeah.
No, because people have to be met where they are.
Exactly. Yeah. 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 Mhm.
But if you can sprinkle a little sugar and
Yeah. Yeah. I'll show you what I created in the last couple of days of basically, well, I haven't created, I've synthesized.
you're
That's the best.
working, yeah, you're working with the information.
Exactly. Because people uh, need something simple. So this is I've created this set of cards. Can you see my screen?
Let me go bigger. Do you want to share screen?
Yeah.
Okay, I'd have to let you share screen. So give me a minute. More I'm going to make you co-host and then you can share your screen.
Perfect. Thank you.
Sure.
Yeah. So basically, I've got another picture that I like when I was on that mushroom trip. I've got another coding of how to draw that picture. But then I was like, do you really want to do that or test this one out? I tested this one out, and oh my God,
Oh yeah.
it it works,
Oh
right?
yeah,
Because as soon
absolutely.
as I work with this code and I look at the wall, I can see the ether. I was like, okay, don't read it anywhere. Don't have to draw anything. Just use this
Just
is
your,
working, right?
yeah,
But
it's
then
right
I
here.
created these memory cards
Oh,
almost.
nice. Okay.
Yeah. And then yeah, so just putting those cards together so that I can give it to people who are either new to well, I'm not doing this for KS people anyway.
Yeah.
I'm because I've got my own business and I'm trying to teach people this in English, simple words,
Okay.
rather than all of these technical.
Hey,
So
I feel you. Look at that. How beautiful that is.
yeah. So
Yeah.
so basically all of the toning that I've used and I've seen that has worked and I can see a result I've put on there. So it's literally that sequence,
That's
but then
wonderful.
you can do it everywhere. You've got the cards with you can bring it with you. And because sometimes I don't remember all of them off my heart, and I'm like, I wish I had the card on me, or I wish I had this chart on me, but I'm like, well, I can't carry this chart everywhere. So today I'm going to get them printed for even me when I'm somewhere and I can feel like, for example, if my throat, I've got a problem in my throat, I will go
Yeah.
straight into this one here and I'll do that one.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So, but in the morning, I do not go out now until I've done this because this is literally the connection to source. Boom, I get there straight away. Yeah, yeah. So this is my protection field, and then I do whatever needs to be worked on the day. Yeah,
And,
yeah.
and the thing is that there's freedom in understanding, like I said, with beloved, with the elementals, with, with the source, is we're each a unique individual.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
respect that, appreciate that.
Mm,
We're not
yeah.
carbon copies of each other. We're carbon, but we're not carbon copies of each other.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Let it be what it needs to be for you. And it's just relax. It's like, for me, KS is like, if you want to bake, you're going to need flour, you're going to need salt,
Yeah.
you're going to need maybe a little oil, you're going to need some water, you're going to measure things. But those are the basic ingredients for
Yeah,
baking.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
What you choose to bake,
Yeah, definitely.
because it's the unique piece. It's what moves you, what feels good, what you want to eat, what you would enjoy, what you want to
Mm-hmm.
share. That's also unique.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think one of the reasons that I'm really tuned into well, obviously what's going on with Israel and Hamas is tragic. And it is about not having Sabbath be for the man, but forcing man to be for the Sabbath. It's
Mm,
backwards.
yeah, yeah.
And it's like that in a lot of places. It's like it's backwards. We know from the reversals, like this is ask, ask, is
Yeah.
ask. Don't assume, ask. Am I doing
Mm-hmm.
backwards? Am I hurting someone this way? So it's a really interesting time. So where do you live? Where is your
I
body?
live in Adelaide, Australia. So South
Okay.
Australia.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Hmm. And currently, so I've been on a journey of obviously learning all of the technical stuff, doing the work spiritually for myself. But I've always been a coach. Coaching for me is
Uh-huh.
I was born to do that. Like I've been in sales and marketing for a long time. But
Okay.
then since COVID, I sort of had to take a full break of everything. So I literally haven't worked for 4 years just to focus on this.
Tell me about it.
Um,
Tell
yeah,
me about
and
it.
now I've gone back to, okay, so now I've got to make some money, or else I'm going to not have a roof over my head.
Right, right.
Yeah, so now I'm sort of getting into building this course, and also I'm just going to drive some Uber just to get some cash flow coming in. Um, but I know it's time now for this knowledge to become mainstream.
Yes,
Um, and
yes,
I just want to bring this to people. I've got a couple of people interested already. Well, there's 2 people that I'm going to start training in 3 weeks' time.
yes.
Um, so I'll put them in like a 12-week training program.
Uh-huh.
Um, but then I know just by them getting ignited, they're going to bring more people. Then I'm going to literally start investing in marketing to get more people on board. And this is why, like, so having a conversation with you now, I'm like, okay, wow, all of this, if you're open to it, would love to bring you some time and have a chat to these guys, and what can we create together,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have my program, my funnel. I pivoted. I had to after the pandemic. And so the guidance from Source and the Beloveds for me was to take the dark flower situation
Mm-hmm.
and present it in a new way. And,
Okay.
and so I have developed this concept called deja vu dating.
I've watched this video. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it hits the point. And for people who are not awake yet, who don't know a thing about KS, would
Mm,
never migrate to KS. So
yeah.
can we help you have a look in a mirror where you might recognize that you are here, and that's not where you want to be. Where you want to be is here.
Mm,
So how do we do that? And
yeah.
why does that matter to you?
Mm,
Why does that matter? And I
yeah.
talk about the cost. I mean, when I do my whole thing, it's like, oh, do you know how much it costs to go on a date in New York City and you're gonna have dinner, drinks, and a show? It's $300.
Yeah.
Are you doing that 2, 3 times a week? Yeah. So let's look at that. Let's look at that. If you're in a stressful situation and you're in dark flower and you don't know that you're in a dark flower relationship, you're going to be in therapy. You're going to need massage. You're going to need breath work, body
Yeah.
work. Like how much is that going to cost you?
Mm,
And
yeah.
meanwhile, you're not with your person.
Mm-hmm.
There is a person.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
that's something you're interested in, there'll be a person eventually. And
I don't like, I've come to the point now where I'm like, I don't even know if there's a person for me now.
I'm telling you, it's so
Yeah.
interesting. It's so interesting.
Yeah.
I've what I have experienced is there is at least an energy,
Mm-hmm.
if not a person.
Mm-hmm.
And if you just like just do it's just
Yeah.
yeah, I mean it's going to be coded in your DNA if your inclination is there. And there
Yeah.
are lots of people for whom the inclination is not there. I mean, me, I've been 27 years on my own because my partner died.
Mm,
And so I'm like, well, okay. Do you have the inclination? I'm like, yeah, I got the inclination. Okay. So why don't we talk about with other people? How do you go through that journey? How do you like extricate yourself from deja vu dating so that you're not stuck? If
yeah.
you're an
Yeah.
empath, you're overgiving, you're feeding the takers, like just cut it out. Like this is how you do it.
That's the typical me. Like, this was my last relationship. This is when I was like, I don't think relationship is for me. I'm just going to kindly walk away from it. I don't
Yeah.
even think I need anymore. But
Yeah.
obviously, the sexual urge is there. But I'm like, apart from having the sexual urge, I don't feel like having a relationship. That's
That's
it. That's me right now.
that's probably really exactly right. For
Mm,
me, I have ooh, my goodness. I mean, I got so tired of the dark flower hits because if you could see with my light, you can imagine
mm,
you can imagine what was coming after me.
yeah, yeah,
I was like, that's okay. I think I'll read a book.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think I'll knit a sweater.
Now, you know what? You're talking about this. I had a whole city of Freemason come down on me, threatening me to kill me as well.
Yeah,
A
right,
whole city,
right,
the whole city of
right,
Adelaide went after me six
right.
months.
It's like, I need my discernment has to be 100% pristine. I'm staying in my apartment
Yeah, yeah.
because it's brutal. And then they come at you at night when you're sleeping and all that crap. So,
Mm-mm, I know.
uh, but it changed at the end of 2022. It changed.
Really.
Oh,
Like
wow.
I feel for me, in the last 2 weeks, they can't access me anymore.
Right. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a tipping point, and I seriously believe that this here
It's part
was
of
the
it.
tipping point. That
Sure.
literally, because they can't come in through this filter. They just cannot come
You
in.
can't get in anymore.
No.
And I just laugh at them.
Yeah.
I met one the other night who'd been trying to torture me. And it's like, do you think that I can't see you?
Yeah, yeah.
Do
Uh-huh.
you think that I don't know what you're doing?
Hmm.
You know that I could vaporize you right now if I wanted to?
Yeah. Uh,
Huh? Okay. Well, why don't you just go on your merry way?
exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
I just don't waste your time here.
Yeah.
Go eat one of your own.
Exactly. That's good that we can talk about this because for me, that was I thought I was going crazy. I literally thought I was going crazy. Yeah, yeah. But until I realized, and you would not believe where it started.
Yes, I
It
would. Like,
started
tell me. I believe anything. They're crazy.
it started at a monastery,
Oh yeah, I believe that.
Buddhist monastery. Yeah. They
Oh,
were literally
absolutely. Oh God, yeah.
attacking me at a monastery. The
Yeah.
whole so basically there was a monastery that they needed to put a new statue in. So there's all of these people who flew from Melbourne to come to Adelaide, and I literally could feel like this thing just coming at me. I'm like, whoa. And I
Yeah.
did not realize that they can read your mind. Like they're literally mind readers, right?
Sure. They're reading your whole energy field.
Yeah, they know everything. And then one day, while we're going through this whole journey, it was like a week of ceremonies. I think on day three, I picked up that they're reading my mind. And then what I started doing, I started communicating with them telepathically, and they got it. And I was not talking about it. They started freaking out because they obviously can read me. And I know that I can't hear them, but they can hear me. No doubt about it. Yeah.
But you'll
Hmm.
get there. You'll be able to hear them.
I don't know when it's gonna happen, but I literally don't hear their thought. However, I hear the conversation in the background when they're having the conversation with their friends.
Oh, sure.
The
Yeah.
subconscious is communicating whatever needs to happen. So this is why now I know some of them currently don't even know that they're being controlled.
No, they don't.
However,
They
some
don't.
of them know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And then discernment is you're being able to feel or read who falls into what category because how you relate will be different. If you
Mm,
have to relate, it will be different.
okay.
It's a skill set. Trust
Oh
me.
wow. Really?
Yeah. It's a
Oh
skill set.
wow. Okay.
Um, I had the last couple days, in reviewing and doing my morning meditation and conversations with, Source and the beloveds and everybody, I had the realization that a year ago this month, I was at a gathering that I had hosted. And I realized the last couple of days that everybody at that gathering not beneficial.
Mm.
And I mean, I could feel pockets of it.
Yeah.
More stronger than others. Some were, I mean, the way that they present is interesting because they have different masks that they wear.
Really? And you see that visually?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Feel it. And then so over the past year, I have very carefully extricated these people because I've tracked when they came in, why they came in. Oh, they were going to be students. Oh, they're like, and then I was just like, okay, I'm happy to teach you. But they're, it just created this sort of reverse entropic funnel that was all about confining me in a place where I couldn't do anything or be, it was just like mess. And so this morning I met with the last person that was at that table. Then we were all having a really wonderful dinner. And I just read, I didn't let on. I just read him the entire time. Read. I'm like, yeah, you're doing this. Yeah, you're doing that. And then I just showed him. I just let him see, not directly, it was indirectly. It was like, I had this experience and then I had this. And then he was like, I mean, people are whatever. And I was saying there's someone in my field that I feel a lot unseen because I'm here from Adore. I'm here from the other side. I know that. And so they're from the other side too, but I don't think they're here in a body, which is too bad. But there's a really great communication. And so this person I was describing, I said, yeah, I've got this unseen partner and it's wonderful. And I said, we talk every day. It's great. He said, well, do you know who it is? Right? So I can go attack it.
What?
No, that was he was thought, he thought I wasn't going to hear that part.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay, yeah. Wow.
I said, yeah,
That's crazy.
I know who it is. And he's
Yeah.
like, well, why would I tell you that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't tell you that.
That's crazy.
Just because
So you're basically now, because I know that I'm talking to a lot of them, but sometimes it's hard to know who they are because I can't hear it back. But most of the time, my instinct tells me that's you. I can literally, like, one day I was on the bus, traveling on the bus, and I just finished a meditation, and I knew this guy was on that bus for me. He needed to hear what's going on here. And he knew where I was going to step out of this bus, right? So I've been literally telepathically just talking. I get to my stop, and I'm like, I'm not going to get out. I'm going to the next stop right now. He just turned and looked at me. I'm like, oh, so I thought that you guys don't tell people that you're Freemason. I'm saying all of this in the head. That guy literally fired up inside. And I'm like, you just gave your position away, buddy. You know? And I'm like, wow. I did not even know that this would work, but that worked.
Totally works. Totally works.
Yeah.
You just flip the script.
Yeah.
So this person, like at the beginning when he came here, I thought, I got what running. I know what number you're running, and I know what number your wife is running, and I know what number you're running. And do
Mm.
you think that I don't know this? Do you think I don't see this?
Yeah, yeah.
So today he came and he's whatever. And I said, so, I think we need to clarify why you're here. Why,
Mm.
why are you here? I think we need to be clear about what the circumstances of your being here, my sharing my time with you, what the boundary is, because I mean, TikTok,
Yeah.
um,
Exactly.
and whatever you think you're running on me as a number
Yeah.
to drag me into whatever, it's like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Hmm.
You can sit, you brought your pet squirrel, it's cool. Like I've got a cutting for a rat, good, it's all good. And then
Yeah.
it's just like I was just very carefully ex getting off at a different stop.
Mm. Yeah. Fair enough. Wow.
It's a skill set, dude.
Well, I'm learning. I'm learning. I'm
It.
definitely we definitely have a lot to share with each other because we are in a very different position, and that position sometimes is like I literally had one guy walk past me because I don't know how deep you know how they work, but from what I've gathered, they've got different houses
They tag,
that they
they ping each other. They ping.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yes. And they were trading me on that day, and there was a trade going on, right? And the whole city is literally fighting where I'm going to be or putting me. And then this guy just passed through, like past me, and he looked at me. He said, "You're very lucky. You were about to die if we didn't trade you." And that literally was, I was like, what? Like, like my mind is going, what is the trade? What is going on? But anyway, now I've realized I think they've got roughly around 7 houses that they put you in. I don't know, but that's what I'm gathering. You know?
This is really important because if you're going to go out and you're going to offer a course, you need to have your skill sets really ready because they're going
Mm,
to come in
yeah, yeah. I
and
know, I know.
they're going to mess with everything. They're going to mess with you. They're going to mess with the course. They're going to mess with the other people in the course. They're going to mess. This is what they do.
Mm, yeah,
So be really ready for that. It sounds like you're really in good shape. They're preparing you. They're getting you ready with the discernment and oh, okay. And you don't have to say anything. You just like,
yeah, exactly. Because now I know they can read my mind. So I really, because before I was thinking that maybe I'll have to say something. Now I just need to, before I start the conversation, have a telepathic communication. If you're here for that purpose, you better get out of here because this is not going to go well for you. You know what I mean? Yeah.
they're
Uh-huh.
trying now. I mean, things are not going well for them. They're
Yeah.
not. And we're unicorns. So to be expected, right? And just have your skills ready.
Yeah. And this is why I think that warrior thing, there's got to be something in there. Last minute warrior, that's basically my style. And the reason that sometimes it's scary because I know that whenever I'm required in a job, in a career, I always rock up at the last minute. And I'm like, what last minute is this right now that I'm getting into? Sometimes it's bloody scary
Yeah.
because I know I'm here for at the last minute right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotcha. I feel you on that. It's just, but because of this, your beautiful work and what you're doing, and you're tuning in and you're just really feeling your way through it, you'll be taken care of.
Mm, yeah.
I cannot tell you the number of times That's why you really just want to just keep taking care of yourself and listening. And then when you connect with your other 1,727, they all have bits of information for you.
Mm,
They all have wisdom. They all have a trick up their sleeve that they'll share with you.
yeah, yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I think now it's good to finally be able to talk to someone about all of this, and then they think that you're not crazy, you know? That's the thing.
Yeah, and then you'll reach the point where you'll really feel it. You'll be so 100% sure that you're not crazy that
Yeah,
you don't have to think about that anymore. And then there's a whole other level of energy drain that stops.
yeah.
It just stops. It's like,
Mm,
having a headache, and and then suddenly you're like, oh my God, the headache's gone, right? Yeah. It's like just takes a while to get there though.
yeah,
And the liberating thing for me was like, I don't give a rat's ass what other people think.
yeah.
Crazy saying, I do not care. I care what source thinks.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's all that matters. I know, that's all that matters. And I can tell you, you've been very courageous to walk this path alone, because I've got someone who's walked the path before me to share this with. I can't imagine what you must have gone through. Oh my God. You know?
Uh, it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Mhm.
And um, when you get into that Christ star energy and you know that that's you, okay.
Yeah. So is that what Starfire mean?
Hmm?
Is that what Starfire mean?
No, but it's good to have your Christ star vehicle to be part of your going into Starfire and coming back out.
So what is Starfire then?
Oh golly. Starfire. I could send you the video clip from the KS point of view, but Starfire is when all of your DNA and your energy fields all line up and they're aligned with Eka Veka all the way up. They're aligned with Eartha, and you're prepared to be a gate to go through a gate.
Mm,
Be a gate.
yeah,
Some of us are already being gates.
yeah.
That's one of our functions.
Hmm.
Be a gate, go through a gate, come back.
Yeah, got it. And that's the thing, like you're talking about gates, like sometimes I there's especially a waterfall that I go to, and I can see this literally this circle vortex opening. I don't even know what it is, but I can it's circular, and I know I'm like, this is a gate, but I can't, it seems to be, the more I walk towards it, it sort of like goes with me, it moves with me.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that is, but
Yeah.
I see it, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know what it is. Like, is it a gate? Am I opening a portal? Or is it
Could
portal?
be a portal, because one of the things that I teach and taught in my class was how to make an Ascension, beloved elementals portal where you live. So
Oh,
where I live now on this property, we have become an Ascension Island.
oh wow. Okay.
I've lived here for 12 years. I've done the work. I have a crystal grid. One of the beloveds came one day, one of the Aquafari, because I'm part Aquafari. One of the Aquafari came one day, and I walked out and I saw this like crop circle in my lawn. And I'm like, what is this? And it was in the shape of a Cathara grid.
Wow.
And
Okay.
I saw this like roof high aquari just sneak around the corner of the building like I wasn't supposed to see it. And I went and sat in, and I said, okay, what do I do with this? And they gave me clear instruction. I've had this crystal Cathar grid on my lawn. It's my space where I go sit and I commune. And now there are orbs and fairies living in a tree directly in front of this, and my neighbor's dog sees this stuff.
Wow.
It's tremendous fun.
Wow,
Because
that's
the dog is
amazing.
like sitting under the tree going like,
What is
my
it?
neighbor's like, I don't understand what she's looking at. There's nothing in there. And I'm
Yeah, yeah,
laughing my ass off because the dog
yeah,
gets them.
yeah, yeah.
So I taught people how to build a portal so that you can invite in your floating Buddhas, you can invite in the elementals, you can invite in the beloveds, you can invite source in. Like I have a whole thing that I do with this property,
Oh, wow.
and I've been doing for years now.
I would love to know how to do that. That would, yeah, yeah. Because I think I'm already doing some of it, but I'm winging it. I don't
You're
even
waiting.
know
Well,
what to
sure,
do.
I was waiting. What the hell? No, it's like, okay, I'm just gonna do this now because that's just what I'm gonna do now because here's what I need to do right now. It just happens
Uh,
like that. This is like I don't have to
you know
think about
what? That waterfall that I'm talking to you about, right? Since I had this mushroom trip in 2019, there was this color brown and green that I was seeing everywhere. I'm like, why am I seeing this? Why am I seeing this? So I was in Melbourne when I started seeing those colors. Through COVID, I went back to where I was born in Mauritius
it.
for a
Okay.
year. And then I met this girl in Adelaide online where we started chatting.
Uh-huh.
And then we decided, hey, let's give it a shot,
Uh-huh.
right? I came to Adelaide, and then literally 3 months in that relationship, we go to this waterfall, and I'm like, you've been calling me since 2019. And I know that this is a portal. Like,
Yes.
I just knew. I'm like,
Yes.
this is the color, this is the waterfall, and that's what's been calling me. I
Yes.
don't know why there, but it's literally been calling me. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that wonderful?
I know. And I was like, whoa, this is trippy, you know?
Well,
But
you're
I just
doing,
like,
I don't use anything psychedelic. I don't smoke a joint. I don't, nothing. Never have.
yes,
Never
but you've
have. In
done it
fact,
naturally.
I've done it naturally. In fact, somebody once gave me early when I was newlywed and living on the fourth floor apartment. This guy, every time we'd come out of the apartment and come down the stairs, this guy would pop out and he would say, "Hey, you want to get high?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I didn't know what he was talking about. So one day I said, "Like, well, what are you talking about?" So we go in, and he's like, "So have you ever done cocaine?" I'm like, "No. Why would I want to? What is it?"
Yeah, yeah,
I have no idea, right? He says,
yeah.
"Why don't you just try it?" And I'm like, "Psh, the hell." So he puts out some lines of cocaine. He shows me what to do. I do it, and I sit there and I go, "What's the big deal?"
There's nothing. Yeah, 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 yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, I know. I know. Well,
He's
that's
like,
the thing. Like for me now, it's coming to the point where basically that mushroom trip that I was on, what I'm seeing with the codes now, that ether that I'm talking to you about, right?
"Yeah, yeah."
So it's becoming material now without any
You
of the
don't
mushroom.
need it anymore, right?
No, because
Right.
I'm like, oh my God, like I literally last time I was looking at my wall, I'm like, the ether is starting to appear. Where's the mushroom? You know what I
It,
mean?
that happens for a lot of people. For me,
Yeah,
what happened, what took me into that space of consciousness was sound.
yeah, hmm,
But like I said, we're all unique.
yeah,
So it's just really good to listen and trust yourself. And then if you step into a icy puddle, just go change your shoes and wet socks and
yeah,
go around it next time. And okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So when do you deliver your course sort of online or on Zoom?
Well, for COVID during that period of time, I always worked live. I flew around, I got on airplanes, I went places and taught live. I really love that.
Yeah, yeah.
But with the pandemic, I've been teaching online, and I've got Deja Vu Dating, all the parts of it done, crafted, ready to go online. And now I'm working on my 10K program that'll be for a year.
Mm,
And it's a beautiful program. It really is beautiful.
yeah.
And so I am in a training with a coach now and a group of people because I want to make sure that I set it up really well. I'm inviting other facilitators in. I've got a woman who does intuition activation. She's a sweetheart. I was like, come into my group, and you could facilitate that, because I don't want to facilitate that.
Mm, yeah, yeah,
Like, just go do it. Here's the people.
yeah.
So I'm doing a lot more collaboration that way because I want to really hone in now. I'm with my TEDx talk being written. I finished it yesterday, the first draft.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
That's very exciting.
It really is.
Yeah,
It really,
yeah,
really is.
yeah, yeah. Because you
Uh,
like this is gonna change everything. Once you get on DevX, everything changes.
it's
Apparently.
really so sweet. And it was
Yeah,
clear last year that I had to do it. I was
yeah,
like, how am I gonna do it? Right. But
yeah,
things work out and things show up. And so I finished the first draft yesterday and I recorded it. And now I'm
yeah.
sharing it with people to get feedback, because I've been invited to go to Paris in March to speak
Nice.
at an international conference. And I want to have one talk body that I can make it 15 minutes, or I can make it 35 minutes, or an hour, and so I'm now crafting this.
That. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's so much. I thought it was going to be like horrifying, but with all the inner work that I've been doing for the last since April, when my intention was, yeah, we're going to do this year. We're going to book it. You're going to have it booked by the end of January, hands down. You're going to have it memorized. You're going to have feedback. You're going to have it booked. You're going to
Yeah.
go do it. And then I got invited into a book collaboration. It's going to be published in January. It's like, here comes my paid speaking thing.
Nice. Yeah, 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 yeah.
So this is what I do. And just trust.
Yeah, yeah.
Trust it.
I think yeah, so I think once I start really getting these posts together, I would love to, for people who are looking for that relationship thing, because I definitely think, yeah, I
Sure.
could refer some of these people, and even invite you to even pitch it. Like, how do I put it? Like, I invite you on one of the days, you talk about it, and then you pitch your own stuff as well. Yeah,
It's because people are ready. They're
yeah,
ready.
yeah, yeah.
And so when you're at that point, when you're ready, I am now that the TEDx talk is crafted, like my whole is like this enormous weight was lifted,
Yeah.
and like give me the time to have this long chat with you today, because I got it
Yes.
done yesterday.
Mm. Well, thank you so much for squeezing me in. Yes.
It's lovely to have that kind of time space relationship again, where things are more open.
Yes.
And I needed a day off anyway, and I had
Yeah.
a really fun day today, talking, being live and being like interactive. I really do enjoy that,
Yeah.
and I felt great because not everybody gets to see my light the way that you did.
Really? They don't see it?
Oh no.
Really?
Oh no, I
So
learned.
what you're telling me is that that white stuff that I just saw, someone can be sitting here and they will not see it at all.
No, I control that, whether they see it or not.
Oh, okay. Got it. Got it.
Because
Okay.
there was a time when I didn't control it. I was just coming into it. And
Yeah.
then all kinds of shit hit the fan, because I didn't know that what people were going to do, that they were going to come try and eat that.
Yes.
Now it's like, no, you don't get to see this unless I decide you get to see it.
Ah, yeah. So yes, this is my concern so many times. I'm like, I'm doing all of this work and then someone is just sucking this right out of me, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, I could probably share some at another time about how you do the boundary thing. And the KS material is super clear on how to handle this. It's abundantly clear. It's not like it's a mystery. But feeling yourself in it, depending on how many strands of DNA you have activated, you're going to do it differently. You're going to need to adapt it to you.
Mm, yeah. Well, I think like seriously now I'm literally think this is here, the
Beautiful.
magic combination that I think has been a game changer in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah,
I
it's
needed to
gorgeous.
structure it in a way that I knew was like direct to source, no interference from the drum, and get into that sound tone, bring in the breath, boom. And
It's
now I'm like,
beautiful.
oh, yeah.
It's
Uh,
beautiful. So I do the thing with the keys and codes, and there are images that we know from encryption that help open people to get their own organization. It's what I call an organization of information activated, so
yeah,
they can find their way through what their next best steps are. So this is beautiful. Did you
yeah.
ever see the cards that were made with the KS info? The beautiful cards. Oh
No.
wait, hang on a minute. Let me see if I have.
You're talking about cards. A friend of mine, she designed, I'll show you these cards.
Okay, well, you get yours. I'm gonna find mine because they're
Okay.
really helpful. They're very helpful. I can find mine. Oh, it's so much stuff. Too much stuff. Too much, too much. Oh yeah, here they are. So mm,
Ah, okay. Fair enough.
um, and so you're on the right track because again, now these
Got
are
it.
all based on the KS stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
So you created those cards yourself?
no, I bought
Ah,
them from somebody in KS. I thought they were
oh,
really
nice.
cool. And I have these as downloadables, the images,
Yeah.
because these were generated, and they're really this way of communicating is fabulous because you're getting this is just the visual encryption, but the
Yeah.
sound and light encryption is just beautiful. So good for you. Good for you. It's very nice.
Thank you. Well, look at this set of card here. Like a friend of mine, she like she used to do tarot cards, and then when I was going into my spiritual awakening, not knowing what was going on with me, thinking that I'm crazy, I'm losing my mind. She's like, Jay, you're sane. All of this is meant to be.
Right.
Go with it. And then I sort of introduce her to chaos. And
Uh-huh.
then one day we're sitting down. I'm like, this is the mission. I knew without understanding what the Eka was. I looked at this map. For whatever reason, I did not even know what that map was. I looked at this, I'm like, I need to bring people here.
Right.
That's all I knew,
Right.
right? And then I still have got this, like we've got all of the Vika codes lined up on the table. From that day, she stopped doing tarot cards. She
Uh-huh.
realized how distorted tarot cards were.
Yeah.
So then she created this, basically with
Nice.
all of the, these, I suppose, milas. And then she created basically a set of cards with all of the different aspects of the ascended master,
And the
the rishi,
attitudes.
the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
avatar, the soul.
Yeah.
She's compiled it. So now that has become how you communicate with your higher self.
Oh, I
So
love that.
you download the code, and then shuffle, and then boom, here it is.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she is based in Melbourne, and she created that. Yeah,
Oh, you
yeah.
know what? So that's the kind of thing. Like I have a friend who's done a card set for all the emotional states, all the labels for the different things of feelings that some people don't even know what their own feelings are. So I have that deck of cards to use for my course. And that might be good because the course that I'm is taking people really deep. And it's like the more you can look and just take it in and breathe it in and let it work you.
Mm,
It just offers a lot of it does bring up a lot of information and a lot of memory.
absolutely.
It's a really good thing.
Yeah. So you want to get these cards? Is that what you mean, or?
Yeah, how much are they?
I think she's selling them for $99. I'll give you the I'll send you. Are you on WhatsApp?
Yeah, send me. No, I don't do WhatsApp. I have my
You don't do
business.
WhatsApp. Let's
Are you on
see.
Telegram?
I, I am on there, but I don't use it. Yeah.
All right.
Let me see. Where
Oh,
is she?
I'm on LinkedIn or Facebook or whatever.
Uh, you're on Instagram?
I am.
Okay. So then it's so Instagram. Here we go. Oh, I'm
I
not. I
won't
don't
look.
even know that.
I'm not looking.
I don't even know. Like, I seriously don't have a clue
I
about the
know.
login. But let me just look on my phone because I'm already logged in here.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
So if
that's
you do a search on
all right. Let me write
hold,
it down.
so it's called hold space session.
Okay, put that in the chat for me. I mean, we're gonna
Yep.
stop screen sharing. Yes. Okay, so put it in the chat for me. And we'll take that off.
So hold space. I think it's
Oh,
all one
nice.
word. And her name is Francesca Jacinto Lopez.
Okay.
Yeah.
Francesca.
Beautiful girl. And she's literally, well, she's one of those emotional, sort of enlightened being, very deep in her emotions. And then it's so weird because I think in 2019 she became, because I was in my mind a lot. It feels like on that day, subconsciously we flipped places where she went into her mind, I went into my heart, and now we're back into ourselves again. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
that's so nice.
yeah. It's such a I don't I know it's weird to explain, but I this is now when I look back, I'm like, I think this is what happened. We switched places
Oh
in in that
yeah.
moment. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
it's pretty wild when this stuff happens and you can feel it happening.
yeah.
And, you move through the experience. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen often, but when it happens, you notice.
I like with this, like I think if she was not there, I would have most probably checked myself into a hospital somewhere.
This is how your DNA takes care of you and how Source and the Beloveds take care of you. It's like, oh, you're having a moment.
Yeah,
You're gonna be okay. Let's bring somebody in to just help you know you're okay.
yeah. Because this was the beginning of me hearing the Freemason or whatever they are. And I was like, I'm hearing this stuff. What is it? Who's speaking with me right now?
Yeah.
Can you imagine that for the first time? I was like, I did not know what chaos was. I didn't know, I did not believe in energy. I did not believe in any of this. I was in personal development. I'm like, if you can't prove it, it's not real.
Jay, I was a certified shorthand court reporter,
Wow.
medical malpractice, environmental cases,
Oh, wow.
married to a doctor.
Wow.
And I had been having spontaneous out of body experiences and really deep empathic experiences and I'm just like, what is going on?
Yeah, yeah.
And one day on a break for a deposition or something I was on, some proceeding, was lunch break, and I went into one of my favorite bookstores and I'm just tooling around, and the book fell off the shelf and hit me on the head. Just,
Wow.
and
Yeah.
and I picked up the book. It was Journeys Out of the Body by Robert Monroe.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I was like, buy the book, right?
Yeah.
I bought the book. I devoured this book
So
immediately. Called,
what was it called? Journey?
yeah, Journeys Out of the Body. I'll put it in the chat.
Oh,
It's
that.
amazing, right? Yeah, Journeys Out of the Body by Robert Monroe. And
Oh, yeah. Perfect. Nice.
yeah, it was just, and I didn't know anything about him. I didn't know anything. I just knew that I was having out of body experiences. I mean, I've been having it since I was 19 years old. And
Yeah.
my team that did the click thing with the 1,000 incarnations, they were there when that happened. It's like, look, this is, we're training you. So don't, I'm like,
Just relax through it. Yeah. Uh-huh. That's crazy. Yeah.
you don't
I know
know.
exactly what you mean. I know exactly. I've had a couple of, like, believe it or not, the very first time that I read an actual book was when I was 20, I think roughly around 21. Anytime before this, I was just reading literally what I needed to read for school, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I became a dad at a very early age.
Uh-huh.
And this was it was literally a traumatic experience for me. It was horrible. My ex was completely destructive, but at the same time, I was a flight attendant back then. Um,
Oh
so she
my
always
God,
asked
Jay.
me to basically buy books when I go away and come back. So I used to just buy a book, bring them home, put them there, never looked at it. And then one day we're sitting on the bed. She said to me, "Why do you never read?" I'm like, "Well, I've got no interest to read." She's like, "Well, what? Let's do something together." So the something together is to read a book, right? So I've got this bookshelf out of all of the books. I go to the bookshelf and I literally, from my hand, pick up Conversations with God, open the chapter where it says, "If you're reading this right here, right now, this is exactly where you're meant to be," blah, blah, blah. I was like, whoa. This was literally that moment where, and I still remember it was a book number 2. So I closed the book down, I put it back on the shelf, I pick up book number 1, and I started reading.
Yeah.
I was up 4, 5 o'clock in the morning
Right.
every single
It's
day
stop.
reading.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's
So
how it happened for me.
they're so liberating. So I bought that book. I went home, I gobbled it up. I got on the phone. I called them. I said, "When is your next retreat? I'm coming." It's like back
Nice.
in the 80s, it was $1,200. That's today's, it's like 5 grand. But
Wow.
I go and I say, "Okay, I'm coming. I'm coming." And at that point I was like feeling like I wanted to go to Tibet, and I had the money. I was making a boatload of money. And I said to
Yeah,
my husband, I said, "I think I'm gonna take a vacation and go to Tibet."
yeah, yeah.
He's like, "I don't want to go to Tibet." I said, "Who asked you to go?"
Yeah. Uh, yeah.
So I go to this retreat. It was amazing because the sound information just lit everyone. And boom, 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 boom.
Mm,
Came out of our little private sound session, and I said to the people in the group, I said, "What is this? I
yeah,
have I have pipes. I have pipes. I have pipes. What are these pipes? I've got energy pouring through me, gushing through me. What are the pipes?
Wow. Okay.
And I'm just like, I'm not freaking out, but I'm like,
Pipes.
I feel it,
That is funny. Yeah.
pipes. And then there were people there. I was protected. I was protected just like you are. It's like, okay, somebody said, oh, those are your chakras. I was like, what's a chakra?
Wow. Yeah, yeah. Uh, how many years ago was that?
I was in 1989.
1989. Wow.
I was a young whippersnapper.
I was 10 years old.
10
Yeah.
years old. I was precocious, but I was a young whippersnapper
Okay.
doing this thing, and I'm like,
Wow.
my whole life just disintegrated.
And all of this is in that book, The Journey.
No, he just talks about the out of body experience and the research that he did and how he founded the Monroe Institute. And then you can go there, and it's amazing because it's all sound technology. It's so much more powerful when you go immediately to the trifecta, like trifecta with sound. But I'm
Yeah.
telling you, I had a complete straight up shot from tailbone to boom. Probably took no more than 30 seconds.
Wow. Okay.
But
Yeah.
I mean,
Do you
I
still
was,
use the sound? Or
no, I don't have to anymore.
fair enough.
It's like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
you're
yeah,
good to go now. I'm like,
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, okay, right? It's just how you need to get it is how you get it.
Yeah. Like for me right now, it's interesting that we're having this conversation because I've been literally looking for understanding out of body experience, and I did not know who to trust, but now I trust you. Well, here you go. So you've been literally, because I was literally lying down yesterday, and I'm looking at my foot, and I can see literally the light body outside of my foot, and it's literally just, I'm like, how do I get out of this body and come back in? I don't know how to do that.
Well, it's amazing. It's an amazing, amazing technology. And I'm not sure exactly what they're doing today. I was a trainer for a while, and you can get the sound technology from them. You can go there. They had people for a while. They had people all over the planet who were trained to share
Mm,
this technology. I don't know if they still do. I happened to go when Robert Monroe was still alive, which I'm very grateful for. It's amazing to be in the space with him. And I didn't know, but that's what completely opened up my healership. So
wow.
that's just like boom. And then it's time to go home. And they got my real name while I was there. I always knew like the name that I had was like, this is not my name. I got my name, like, yay. And then
Really?
yeah. Anaiis.
Wow.
Like, yeah, there it is. Thank you. And then um I'm driving home from Virginia back to New York State. I'm in my little sporty Mercedes Benz. I have cruise control set. It took me 7 hours to get there. Not gonna speed, set it for 55. And on the way out, I'm like, I don't recognize any of this. And driving on the highway with the transmission towers, the big ones, like the electrical grid tower, I felt like I was getting sliced. That's how expanded my energy field was.
Mm, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, ooh, what's this? And so then I stop at a rest stop. I said, am I on the right? Is it, no, you're fine. I'm like, I'm fine. Okay. So same speed, same route, got home in 4 hours. So they had taken me out of the complete time matrix.
Wow.
Out,
Wow. Yeah. So it's not even time dilation. You were out.
out, and back.
Wow.
And I mean, really, after that, it was on. I was like, oh my God. I'm trying to do my court reporting transcripts, and the fire letters are coming up off the page. I'm like, oh,
Whoa.
it
Oh.
comes the way you need it.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Wow, that is amazing. Yeah.
So welcome to Weird World, right? So there.
Thank you. Well, thank you for basically having worked this before me and explaining all of this because I'm so rational in my mind. I need to hear evidence, you know?
If you were
Yeah,
a flight attendant,
yeah,
why wouldn't you be that way?
I suppose, yeah, yeah.
Right? Because you're like, wait a
Procedures.
minute. Yeah, procedure. I'm in charge. What's happening? Who's sitting where? Do we have flight check? What's going on? I mean, why wouldn't you be that way?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
That's wonderful.
It is amazing, yeah. And I think you're going to love her name. Well, everyone called her Chess. So if you when you reach out, just say Chess. Jay asked you to reach out to you. You're gonna love her because your energy are very empathic energy. You know,
Okay.
yeah. I'm very less than empathic. I'm learning how to become that.
It's
I'm
it
very straight to the point, down the line, boom, boom, boom. That's
well, yeah,
what I'm used to.
my masculine side is like that. It's very clear. Over here
Okay.
we do this. Over here
Yeah.
we do this. Yeah.
Yeah. uh,
And the
yeah.
integration takes a while, but it's worth it. And you're gonna get what you need. You're just gonna get everything that you need.
hmm Yeah. Amazing. I'm so excited. I'm so glad we got to talk.
Yeah, me too. It's so great. Just remember,
Uh,
you're a unicorn. Don't worry about it.
yeah. 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 And I think there's so much more to talk about.
Okay,
We
well,
can
we'll do it again sometime. Right.
absolutely, like we've been here for 2 hours already, and I'm like, whoa. Yeah. Yeah.
It's
And
been
I've
a
got to
fun
make another
time.
phone call. I would love to continue chatting, but I need to jump on a phone
Go,
call.
go. I think
Yeah.
I'm done for the day because this was my day off, but I still have stuff I have to go do. So
Thank you so much.
namaste.
Namaste. And I we'll talk soon. And also I want to give you this yeah, I'm starting to training these two people in the next couple of weeks, right?
Okay.
So I would love to at the tail end of the training for you to just come in and then do your thing, use your 1 hour pitch, teach them some stuff, and then you can sell
Oh,
whatever
that's
you want.
so nice of you. I really appreciate that. But
Yeah,
we're in the time now. Collaborative co-creation is coming. It's beautiful.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah. Thank
Thanks.
you so much. And
Bye.
I'll talk to you soon.
Okay,
Yeah,
bye-bye.
thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.